So we're here on 12 Nuns Nursery, and we've been thinking hard about how to advise our customers on what compost you should put your Hellebore plug plants into. We know what we put into on the nursery, but you can't get hold of that. And so it's no use us putting us on the planting advice that we give to you. You should grow in X, Y, or Z. So we've set up here in May 2026 a trial of Hellebore plugs. Here we've got 6 different bags of compost that have been bought from a local garden centre. We're potting 20 Hellebores plug plants into each one of those. So we hope that it will be very useful to you. We hope that we'll be able to be more solid in our advice to you when we say we've got these lovely Harvington Hellebores. They grow like billy-o. They're going to be great pot plants. You can plant them back out into your garden in the autumn or early spring. We want to give you solid advice so that you really succeed with growing our plants. Now, as you can see here, we've got 2 trays. We've picked out the best results and the worst. We're not going to name all of the compost because we don't think that that's fair. We will name the compost that have done very well. But first of all, let's look at the differences between a good plant and a not so good plant. So after 8 weeks of potting, this is what we would consider to be a good plant, and this is what we would consider to be a not good plant. You can see here, really, that still looks like the original plug plant. So that hasn't done anything. It's sat there in the pot and done nothing within 8 weeks of potting. This one here has definitely changed. The leaves, the original leaves, are down here at the centre here, and then it's pushed up another 3, probably 3 good leaves up and beyond those seedling leaves there. So the first thing we'd look at as a very quick, I think we all do this in the garden, we go, oh, that's a lovely, nice green plant. It's done really, really well. This one looks a bit sort of alive, but not doing anything great. The second way that we look at it is by the roots. So we do this a lot on the nursery. We tip a plant out and have a look at the roots. And this plant here, as you might expect, because it looks nice and settled in, has got a nice root system beginning to form. It's got some nice white growing tips. It's rooted all the way to the bottom, and in fact, it's got roots poking out the bottom. So this plant is virtually really ready to plant into your garden. So in fact, you could have bought a Hellebore plug plant from us in May, potted it up, and actually have a plant that's ready for planting out in your garden in July. You might not want to do that if there's a heat wave, but equally, if they're well watered in and they're in a reasonably shady spot and they've been planted well with some good compost, this plant will grow away very easily. This other plant that we talked about that we sort of think has just sat there, let's just see what's actually happening to its roots. Again, you can see here, it's a very wet compost actually, so whichever the compost was here, it's holding moisture a lot more than this one, so it's perhaps not as free draining as it should be. It's soggy on the bottom, it feels kind of sticky, and so already I'm looking at that compost going, oh dear, it's a bit sludgy and a bit sticky, and I can't see any sign of a root coming out, indicating that it started to send roots down. So it makes sense to me that this still looks the same as the original plug plant that was planted. I'll pull this pot apart, the compost apart, and indeed, gosh, that is a surprise to me, that not only has it done nothing, it hasn't rooted out, but it also has no roots within the original plug plant itself. So literally that plant has gone backwards.